it's going to be different with us because I'm not her. I'm not them. A lot of us be thinking our coochies be flowing with milk and honey. And every time without fail, these men be reminding y'all that they are, lactose intolerant and are allergic to bees. Every time. Hello, welcome back to Bennystake. I'm your girl Benny, and I'm bringing you yet another thought of the week. I've been behind on a lot of my TV reviews. I have not been watching a lot of shows, and the shows that I've been watching them for enjoyment. So I haven't found myself wanting to like turn it into work. Like I've really just been wanting to enjoy myself. So if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. We have a couple of things that we want to talk about today. And there's a theme, and I feel like I've been waiting a little bit to gather my thoughts, right? Collect a little bit more, I don't want to call it evidence, right? But to collect a little bit more, data to validate what I've been feeling for a little while, right? So if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. Be sure to watch my videos till the end. Be sure to make sure that you are liking it, sharing it with somebody if you dig what we're talking about. And also shout out to 12,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. 12,000 is amazing. I'm so grateful. I do not take that for granted at all. Y'all see me, I'm out here, okay? I've been doing my best to show up doing the things. Today we even got on a hat, y'all. Don't do these braids. What are they called? Like, why do I look like a madman and it's only been a week and some change? Like, what is this? What is this? The moose not moosing, y'all. The moose is not moosing for the people of God. The moose is not moosing for the women of God. This lady done said, go ahead and mix coconut with some water. Why the coconut gonna freeze in the bottle? So now the coconut getting its Elsa on. Let it go, let it go. The coconut frozen. So this the coconut that's frozen. Here's the water. Separation. It's not coming together. So every time I got to spray the things, I got to go ahead and run it by the hot water. Okay, so it could melt for the people of God. And the whole time it will melt, the little, you see how it be having the little, the sprayer thingy, some coconut bean got inside. That coconut not finna melt. So the surrounding coconut that's getting its Elsa on is melted after I done ran it to the hot water, running up my bill. Okay? Now the little coconut in the little straw thingy that be in the spray bottle, not finna get it's melting on. It's not finna melt. So now you got the melted coconut and the water that's come together, but the leftover coconut inside the straw that be spraying for the women of God, that's not melted. So I'm trying to do this right here. Nothing coming out because why? Let it go. Let it go. It's still getting its Elsa on in the little straw. And then if I wait, the other coconut finna go ahead and get frozen again. So all in all, I look like a mad woman. Okay? All in all, I look, what is this? What is this? How? That is my complaint of the day. Okay? Go ahead and subscribe. So for today's discussion, we're going to talk about the dangers of ignoring red flags, especially when it comes to men that we are potentially going to have kids with, or men that we decide to have kids with, right? Now, I want to put this out here and say, I am in no way, shape, or form assigning blame to any woman. Because one thing about trashy men, they're going to be trashy men, and sometimes you don't even know what's going to hit you, right? A trashy man gonna be a trashy man. A trashy man not gonna show up looking like the garbage can. A trashy man sometimes gonna show up looking like your type. It's gonna show up saying the things that you wanna hear. A trashy nothing and a half of a man can sometimes show up looking like an angel. They can sometimes show up looking like an answered prayer, right? And then eventually you start to dissect some things and be like, hold up, what's going on, right? So again, a trashy man gonna be a trashy man, and sometimes a trashy man gonna show up deceiving women. A trashy man gonna show up doing the most to bamboozle the women of God. A trashy man gonna be a trashy man, and a trashy man is 100% responsible for their trashy behavior. Whether that be, abuse in terms of like financially, emotionally, essay abuse, whether that be physically, like in any type kind of way, a trashy man or just a trashy individual. In this video, we're focusing on the men, okay? But a trashy man or a trashy individual gonna be trashy regardless, and they deserve 1000% of the mess. A trashy man or a trashy individual gonna be trashy nonetheless, and they deserve 150%, okay, of the blame and 150% of all of the chaos, okay? The blame and the responsibility of the chaos that they cause, it is up to them. It is their responsibility, and I'm in no way, shape, or form assigning it to the people who survive these trashy men. However, with that being said, sometimes many of us, we overlook certain red flags because we do not imagine that that could be us. And I'm talking specifically to the women. Many of us be thinking that we are exempt to some of the things that these trashy men are capable of doing. Like you will see them do it to another woman and then turn around and think that you are special, unique. Sometimes we end up participating in BS that we could have avoided had we just paid attention to the red flags that these trashy men have shown us in terms of how they dealt with other people and other women in their past. Okay, let's just talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's talk about different examples. Again, not blaming these women. I empathize a lot. I empathize a lot because so many people, they don't even have the courage. They don't even have the ability. So many people are so, so caught up and are so deep in the mess and deep in the abuse of it all that they're not able to have an exit strategy. So by now you've probably seen the whole hullabaloo between, DDG and Halle Bailey. They broke up sometime in 2024 and things have just been like going downhill from there, right? Like you had DDG with 111 lives. Like this baby, I don't even know what he do for a living. All I know is this baby gonna talk about Halle and he gonna talk about their baby Halo. I don't know what he does. I think he like a streamer or like some kind of a rapper. Never really amounts to nothing. Every time I see him, this baby's talking about Halle. This baby's talking about their baby Halo. And it's just been like a whole lot of hullabaloo. And just like a little recap, Halle filed a restraining order, and she shared photos that she was, being physically abused by DDG. And so you had her arm that was bruised, and you also had like her tooth that was like chipped. And she said he hit her, like banged her head on top of the steering wheel or something along those lines. And first of all, my heart goes out to her. Like I said already, this is not a space to assign blame. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves to be put in a space where their lives are gonna be in danger. Nobody deserves to be put in a space where their safety has to be something that they gotta think about. So my heart really goes out to her, and I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her silence. I'm so proud of the fact that we have not heard a damn thing from her. I'm so proud of the fact that literally it's only Mr. DDG. Like I'm talking about this man is like he's live every 5 seconds, and every time he's talking about her, every time. It's as though he has no identity outside of her and their child, which we're gonna get into in a little bit. right? I'm so proud of her for taking it to the courts, and my heart breaks for her for the fact that people are still online, blaming her. The same thing that's happening to Cassie, the same thing that has happened to many women or many just like survivors who come forth. There's always blame. There's always, well, why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why did you bring it online? That's a problem. Why did you bring it to the court? That's a problem. It's always a problem, and it seems as though women, especially Black women, they can never just like do right. They can never just like, there's no way to deal with, alleged abuse, right? Like, because I don't know, I wasn't there. I don't think it's been proven as of yet. But based off of the picture, it seems as though these are things that happen, right? But it seems as though there's no right way to literally go about this. If you take it to the court, something is wrong with you. If you don't say nothing and you protect the men like Megan did, something is wrong with you. If you take too long, like Cassie did with her assault of so many just diabolical, things that this man put her through. If you take that route, something is also wrong. So there seems to be no way to really just like handle assault. There's no way to properly handle somebody putting your life, in danger, whether that be physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and all of the things. According to the public, there seems to be no way to do it right. Me personally, I applaud Halle. I think it takes so much courage to put yourself out there to end the cycle, right? And so for her to take it to the court and for her to just kind of like be on mute, like she's out here on her vacation with her sister. We haven't heard much from her. She's just out here just keeping it quiet and keeping it cute. Let the law handle it. And the law has. They granted her the restraining order she requested, and they also granted her temporary full custody of their son. And DDG is supposed to visit once for like 6 hours if he has like supervision, something along those lines. But I'm gonna leave like different screenshots of like the article that I read from People's. Kudos to her. Not at all blaming her for anything. Again, a nothing and a half trashy man will always be a nothing and a half trashy man. And so then DDG tried to file like an emergency order, trying to like get whatchamacallit, Halle to not travel to Italy with their son, something along those lines. And the judge dismissed it because again, it was like a last minute thing for one. And what has been trending right now is the text messages that this man has released claiming that Halle is not, safe for their child. He's claiming that Halle is not even safe for her own self. The point of this video that I hope women take into account, when you look at the timeline, when it comes to the relationship between DDG and Halle, it was a lot of things that were already murky. If her allegations are true, it was already a lot of cheating, some semblance of like abuse happening, okay? And if the messages that he released between them, if those are also accurate, meaning if those are actually the messages between them, right? Because it's like, I'm no expert. I can't tell if the messages are real or not. Could be AI. I'm not sure. But if that's true as well, Halle, there was a lot of things that you were dealing with at the time of your relationship. And from an outsider looking in, I'm not understanding why I have a child together. Right? And I know that may come across as harsh. Are children a blessing? Absolutely. But if these allegations are true, if this man was abusive to you this whole time, if this man was cheating on you this whole time, because again, cheating is emotional abuse. I don't care what nobody says, it's emotional abuse. Because to make somebody go crazy in the ways in which we see Halle allegedly in those messages, if it is her, to have somebody crash out like that, that means this man put you to the point where it's kind of like, oh my gosh. Like now you are on the edge and now you're losing your mind. If these are the things that were happening all this time, why I have a child together? Could it perhaps be that a lot of us be thinking that a child could save a man? Could it be that maybe we sometimes tend to believe that a child can change a person? Because I've seen a lot of women be like, oh, the man was giving nothing and a half this whole time, right? But what I'm going to do is once he becomes a father, I'm going to give him a child. Once he becomes a father, then maybe things are going to change. I promise y'all, heaven the best daycare you could ever find. Like, heaven is the best daycare you could ever find. Jesus is a good, good father. Okay? The best babysitter to ever do it. The best to ever do it. So in the messages, again, I'm not trying to tell a woman like go ahead and, give the baby back, do a little return, 3-day policy with a child. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do. I don't believe in that. Women should have autonomy over their own bodies. But again, if those messages are true, if what this man is claiming is true, that you're having hesitation about having a child with this man, says why didn't you lean in on that a little bit? Because one thing that will forever be true for the rest of your life, and again, if these messages are true, you alluded to this. One thing that will forever be true is that for the rest of your life, you and this man gonna go together real bad. In the words of the man of God, Offset, I won. She my baby mom's. No matter what the court rules, no matter what the public says, for the rest of your life, my good sis, DDG will be a thorn in your flesh. For the rest of your life, DDG and you will always go together. Why? Because it's a child. There were cheating allegations. Because a lot of us women be thinking that our coochie be flowing with milk and honey that's going to, set us apart from the other girlies in his past, the other people that he cheated on with, the other people that he raised hands on, the other people that he did all these things with. It's not us. It's going to be different with us because I'm not her. I'm not them. A lot of us be thinking our coochies be flowing with milk and honey. And every time without fail, these men be reminding y'all that they are, lactose intolerant and are allergic to bees. Every time. But for some reason, we see it happen to other women, and we decide in our minds that we are exempt from the behaviors of some of these men. It's so many examples. Look at Chris Brown. Look at Chris Brown and everything that went down with Rihanna. What did Karrueche do? What did Karrueche do? I'm not her. I'm finna be different because, my coochie is anointed. Okay? It's going to transform the lives. I'm going to be different. I'm unique. What did Karrueche do? And soon after, what happened with her? Did she not have to file a restraining order as well? Did she not have to file and separate because things got a little touchy? Allegedly. Please don't come for me. Again, please don't come for me. You have people like Skai Jackson. I believe, if you guys don't know her, I'm going to leave some of the pictures, of hers over here. That Disney star, beautiful actress, gorgeous black woman, doing her things. Some of our best Disney stars got together with the father of her child now, while the man was arrested or in some kind of legal battles, but you thought you was different.
Yeah, I'm single. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Baby girl, you ain't know I'm good for domestic violences. On life, we'll both go to jail, beating on each other. Smile in my mugshot.
Somehow you thought you was gonna be better. And then you have a child with him. And every time I see Skai's name on the news, it has everything to do with this man. It has everything to do with more things that he's done to her. It has everything to do with, you know, him getting a little touchy with you. But he was that. He was that to the woman before you. You thought you were going to be different. Why do we do that to ourselves? Again, not trying to blame at all. So I hope you guys hear my heart, because again, a trashy man gonna be a trashy man, and they're gonna be responsible for their trashy behavior. If a man puts his hands on you, he is to be blamed. He is to be blamed. But if you as a woman, you know that this man has put his hands on other women, and then you willingly decide to walk into that situation thinking that you're gonna be different, I have to ask you why. Why do we think that we are somehow exempt? Y'all, my camera died, so I had to like take a pause, charge it, and then come back. But where we left off was like, at a certain point, I have to ask why, right? In Skai Jackson's case, again, not shaming these women at all. We're using them almost like as a case study because their lives are public. So I'm using that as a way to make a general point, which is, a lot of us women, sometimes we feel as though we are exempt from a lot of these things that men put other women through. And I'm here to tell you that you are not. You are not that special. Okay? In the eyes of God, you might be. To your father and your mother, you might be special. To your siblings, you might be special. But when a man has given nothing and a half to everybody in his past, there is nothing special about you for him to show up as his whole self. If he gonna be nothing and a half the whole time, your coochie not about to change him. A child not about to change him. Nothing is going to change a man who is committed to his own ways. Not a damn thing. But somehow we feel as though we have some sort of immunity. We feel as though there is something that sets us apart, that we're going to be different from the other women of their past. There's this lady, I'm forgetting her name, but she had a man, he's a footballer, and their story also went about, and she ended up filing a restraining order against him and all that stuff. But she married this man, and their child was his 9th child, if I'm not mistaken. So it's all these other women in his past that he ain't done right by. All of them. All of them, he ain't done right by them. But somehow you felt as though like it was you. A change gonna come, and the change gonna come through your coochie or through a child that comes out of your pum pum. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Former Disney star Skai Jackson made stunning domestic violence allegations against DeAndre Bergen, her ex-boyfriend and the father of her child, in a restraining order request filed on Monday. Jackson, who is 23 years old, again, someday we're going to be able to come together and have these conversations of babies having babies. Halle is 25. Skai, you were 23. Y'all are babies. What is happening? Y'all are babies. Like, what is going on? Is it maybe because you guys are, you know, exposed to the world a little bit earlier that you guys feel as though you're a lot more mature than you actually are? 23, you are a child. 25, you are a child. So these are babies having babies. What is going on? And this man also has babies with other women that he ain't done right by. How are we here? Right? Again, not asking to assign blame, but how are we here? We need a map to be able to coordinate and understand some things, but why and how are we here? What's going on? What are the conversations that we need to be having? What are some of the things that we need to be talking about? Because how are we here? These are babies having babies. Fame or money would never protect you from the heartbreak and the turmoil of having a lousy baby daddy. Fame will not protect you or make you exempt to that at all. Jackson, who is 23, alleges Bergen has been abusing her for more than a year, with the most recent incident occurring on Mother's Day, according to court documents obtained by TMZ. In the latest assault, Jackson claims Bergen punched her in the face, grabbing her by the hair and slammed her head against a car while she was holding their newborn son, Kasai. Oh my gosh. These, I guess, are allegedly, but oh my gosh, that is terrible. That is terrible. My heart goes out to her. That is terrible. No person deserves that at all. She details other instances of alleged abuse dating back to last year in which Bergen choked her, scratched her, and bashed her head into walls. She claims that while she was pregnant, he held her at a knife point and threatened her with a gun while demanding she drink bleach to kill their unborn child. News of the restraining order comes roughly 9 months after Jackson was arrested on suspicion of domestic battery for allegedly pushing Bergen during an altercation at Universal Studios. However, the LA County District Attorney declined to file formal charges against the actress. I read this part also to just make an observation, right? Because there seems to be a little bit more of a similarity between Halle and Skai's case. Notice how it's typically the women that are coming forth claiming certain level of, like, physical abuse, allegedly. I'm not in these people's lives. I'm just a YouTuber trying to talk about the things that the people are talking about. But notice how it's always the woman that's gonna go forth and be like, okay, I need a restraining order. They provide the evidence of, the assault, allegedly. And then soon after, you have the men coming with like a counter, they're coming with the counter accusation saying like it's the women that's sitting over here getting their kung fu on them. Have y'all noticed that? Because I've noticed that to be the case in so many different scenarios, in so many different stories. Like, have y'all noticed that? Because it seems to be like every time like a woman comes up and says like, hey, this has been like a little bit more violent, this relationship has been a little violent. Soon after, you have the men come and say, well, technically it wasn't that. But somehow their evidence are always a little murky to me. I'm not saying women are not capable of being violent and being abusive towards men, which we're going to get into on some of the text messages between Halle and DDG. I'm not saying that at all. Women are not saints. But have y'all just noticed that a little bit? DDG asked the courts to prevent Halle Bailey from taking Sun Halo out of the country, alleges she is a risk to both of them. According to court documents obtained by People on Wednesday, June 4th, the streamer, 27, filed a motion to request an emergency hearing and asked the court to restrict the Little Mermaid's actress, 25, from traveling internationally with their 17-month-old son, Halo, specifically on vacation to Italy. DDG is also requesting a domestic violence restraining order, alleging that Bailey poses an imminent emotional and psychological risk to the minor child based on repeated documented threats of self-harm. He claims that if Alo were to leave the country, the toddler will be without the protections of the court and any emergency intervention mechanisms. She filed the restraining order first, claiming that he was a threat to their son. He's filing one in return, claiming that she's a threat to the son. Both y'all claiming to be a threat to the child. It's babies having babies. We're gonna get to the text messages, but it's babies having babies. It literally is babies having babies. Judge denies DDG's request to prevent Halle Bailey from leaving the country with son Halo. The streamer previously filed an emergency motion against Bailey, claiming she was a risk to herself and her son. My only thing with this is, was this denied partly because of just how last minute the claims were? You know, because it's like, why weren't these brought up in the courts when she filed against you? Like, why didn't you counter in that moment to wait until the vacation, I guess, is coming up and be like, okay, now I feel like she's a threat? That to me is a little like, okay, what's actually going on? Like, why did you wait till like the vacation was closed up? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like this woman is an actual threat to your child? Or are you looking for a way to just like make her life a living hell? Last minute, suddenly this woman is not fit. This woman is not, you know, capable of taking care of herself and her son. Like suddenly, is that why the courts deny this? Like, comment down below, let me know what you guys think about that. But it's like, it feels very last minute to me. It feels like yet another attempt to weaponize this child against Halle. That's how to me it's reading a little bit. Because not for nothing, we've not seen DDG be quiet about this at all. His entire life, his entire identity, his entire personality online seems to be solely tied to the fact that he was dating Halle and has a child with Halle. I'm going to be honest with you. Sorry to this man, but prior to Halle, I knew who this baby was. I'm sorry. I knew who this baby was. The only reason why I know of this man is because of his relationship to Halle and now their son. Was this yet another attempt at weaponizing this child as a way to just make this girl's life a living hell? Was this just another way of using your child as a way to stay in the media? Was this yet another attempt? Because if you pay attention, Halle never wanted this child to be public. But every time you saw DDG, here came the baby. It's as though the baby was some kind of accessory. Every time he'll be streaming with the baby. Every time. She gonna say you're not a fit father for her son. You gonna come and say she's not a fit mother for your son. And according to some of these text messages, this seems as though it had been going on for quite a while, where your relationship was unstable. Again, I ask, what part of both of y'all thinking made y'all feel as though a child was gonna be the next logical explanation? A child was gonna be the next logical step into the relationship. And ladies, given that we are the ones that bear these children, given that we are the ones that have to get pregnant, we are the ones that have to go through all the hormonal changes, all the pain and all the hullabaloo that comes with carrying a child and carrying a child to term, and then going through the birthing process that has ended many people's lives. Let's keep it a buck. Childbirth is not a joke. Women, given the fact that we are the ones that have to go through with that, to the point that I made in the beginning of this video, we have to be a little bit more strategic. We have to be a little bit more we have to be a little bit more mindful. We really have to. We have to. There's literally no world in which, right, Because now this man, his entire life has become Halle. Like, he's not stopped talking about this. Like, you went through all this for a man, and we're going to send the text messages that this man wasn't there for you like that, for real, for real. And I get it. When you are in the public eye, sometimes some people want to create a version of like perfectionism within their relationship, maybe for the sake of keeping peace. I'm not really sure. Again, I don't be there and I don't be in your relationship, right? But if these messages are true, your relationship never gave what y'all try to make it seem online. And it certainly never gave the kind of safety that would allow for both of y'all to decide to go ahead and bring a child into this world, particularly you, Halle. Because no matter what, in the words of our good brother, Brother Offset, I won. You my baby moms. And we live in a society where men don't get as much heat for the ways in which they show up as being mediocre. Because these messages that we're about to go through, people are still online talking about, well, he done exposed her. He done exposed her. He done exposed her. He may have exposed certain things as far as just kind of like, hey, you were really going through a lot. You were literally going through a lot mentally. And you had no business bringing a child into this world. I am so sorry. And I mean this lovingly. I mean this very kindly. It was a lot of things that you were going through mentally that becoming a mother was just going to put more pressure on you. Your child is a blessing. Your child is precious for sure. But sometimes timing is everything. Timing really is everything. But what those messages actually exposed was that this man was never a partner to you. He was never a partner to you. You guys started dating in like 2022. And the same year y'all are dating, it's a lot of just like, cheating accusations, cheating allegations. There was this girl, Lala, some other girl, Amber. So just a lot of things going on. But y'all's son was born in 2023. The messages do not show if you are somebody that knows what it takes to be pregnant, the toll it takes on a woman, the toll that motherhood can take on a woman. And if you pay attention to how even the timing, like she was recording, Little Mermaid, like she was recording this other movie that she was a part of. I'm forgetting the name of it, like Color Purple, the purple color or Color Purple, one of the Color Purple, that movie. She was recording that as well. She had just released, Angel, and I think she was releasing like another song or something. But she was working a lot around that time. She was working a lot. She was working a lot. Then you're pregnant. Then you're dealing with just like public scrutiny altogether. That is bound to make anybody crash out, especially when they already have an unstable partner who gonna cheat on them, who gonna disrespect them. That's bound to make everybody crash out for sure. That's bound to take your mental health literally off the edge. And that's also not the time to decide that another human being needs to go ahead and be brought into this dynamic. Okay? Which is why I will always be an avid advocate for women to have reproductive rights, so that you're able to make decisions that's best for you. Halle, you have a gorgeous voice. Gorgeous voice, beautiful voice, an amazing actress, beautiful woman altogether. But it's been a minute that I've seen something great attached to your name. It's been a good second, and I hate that for you, right? And I hate that for women in general. Ladies, pay attention. Please pay attention. Who you have a child with, very important. And if you're a man and you're listening to this, the woman that you have a child with, also very important. Because if everything is done right, y'all are going to outlive that child. So that means for the rest of your life, you're going to have to deal with a man or a woman that's going to just come and stress you out. Parenthood is already one of the ghettoest hood that there is. The last thing you need is for somebody to be causing your edges to be receding from here all the way to Judea. You don't need that. You do not. Absolutely not. So these are the messages that's been going around between DDG and Halle. And I'm going to say allegedly because I have no way of verifying this, okay? But these are some of the conversation that's going around. These are some of the things that DDG put in his motion to ask for Halle not to essentially leave the country with Halo, claiming that she is a threat to herself and a potential threat to their son. So these are some of the messages that's dating back all the way to 2022. Now, 2022 is the year where I guess they became public with their relationship. Now, things may have been exploring and things may have been moving forward before even 2022. But according to Google, the two of them became official in 2022. And in March of 2022, these are the conversations that's happening. You put your penis inside of her in Mexico. This is from Halle. Who is her? I don't know. Maybe the people of God gonna know. But according to the TikTok streets, is this girl, I think her name is like Lala, who, by the way, she's over there busy dancing with, what's his name, with DDG online. Proving my point again, right? Because whether you are in relations with this man or not, whether, you agree with how things are moving or not, this man, he's in a legal battle, tussling with his ex over physical assault allegations, right? Why are you dancing? Why are you dancing? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, again, we don't be thinking it could ever be us. Or that's her. We're about to witness a crash out. Whether she had pre-existing issues that she has to work with is not what we're debating here. But his name is all over a mess. His name is all over allegations that has to do with DV. Why are you in a video dancing with him? I'm going to tell you why. You are in a video dancing with him because you are looking down at Halle thinking that these things can only happen to her, that somehow you were too cute, too prim and proper, too mature for that man not to do to you what he did to her. That's why you getting your your David danced online for the people of God. That's why. That's why you're dancing with a man who's currently having, charges of DV against him. That's why. You put your penis inside of her in Mexico. Then this man don't respond. I'm talking about this is a monologue, okay? Answer the bleep phone. It's the F word. Answer the bleep phone again. I'm gonna try one more time. If you don't answer, it's over forever. I'm not playing Daryl. That's it. And this man gonna respond, I just want to be left alone. So somehow your penis got lost in the neighborhood. And you put it where it ain't supposed to go. Allegedly. And you the one that needs to be left alone. You put your penis, okay, in unauthorized grounds. You put your penis in unauthorized canals. No taxation, no nothing. Literally unauthorized, without permits. You put your penis where it ain't supposed to go. And you the one that needs to be left alone? Now, these messages are happening in 2022. Okay? At this time, Halle, you are not pregnant. At least not with your baby boy now. You're not. Because your son was born, I think, sometimes in December or something. Right? So around March of 2022, you're not with child. I'm calling for help. I have a knife. I'm calling for help. But you don't care, do you? Okay. And this baby gonna say, have a knife for what? Halle, I hate this look for you. I just do. Because as a woman, I can understand, somebody just like driving you to the edge, right? And you crashing out. But the moments where your crash out has to involve allegedly, self-harm. Again, I don't know if this is you or not. I hate that for you. Especially because this is a man, again, who allegedly put his penis where it don't belong, all the way in Mexico. You're supposed to be eating guac in Mexico, okay? Tamales in Mexico. Tacos in Mexico. You're not supposed to be losing your penis, okay, in a canal that it ain't supposed to go in. That ain't what's supposed to happen in Mexico. Okay? Get you some chips and guac. Enjoy that. Tequila. Drink that. Margaritas. Enjoy that. You're not supposed to lose your penis in Mexico. That ain't what's supposed to happen. But sis, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. If this is you, I'm concerned. I'm worried for you. I am. Because to me, this reads like somebody pushed you over the ledge, and mentally you already just are going through, and this was just like yet another thing. Because if some crash out, mess up his tires, I'm saying, I go ahead and mess up, the streaming videos he be doing, do that. When you're going to claim that you're going to put your own self at risk, that's something I'm worried for. Because I'm just going to say this. If I was ever in a situation where a man turned around and was like, oh, if you don't do this, I'm going to off myself, it ain't going to do me no never mind, because I do not take those kind of threats lightly, right? To me, it would land as manipulation. To me, it would land as like, okay, no, because then I would start worried about my own well-being, because I would start worrying about like, okay, is this person trying to trap me in a situation that might be uncomfortable for me? And every time I'm trying to like exit, they're going to use this as a way to keep me. That's where my brain would go. That's where my brain would go. I'm understanding this and I'm giving empathy, because again, his penis is where it ain't supposed to go. So you're crashing out. But this I'm concerned about a little bit. I am. And it goes back to my point of this relationship was already giving nothing and a half. You were not in the mental space to become a mother. And I'm not meaning that shadily at all. At all. Mental health is a real thing. And children are human beings. They start off as babies, eventually they're toddlers, eventually they become but these are human beings. And when we're welcoming them into the world, there has to be a certain level of just like mindfulness to not bring them in situations that might just be messy. This It's giving messy. Very messy. And now somehow we are in 2024, at least according to these messages. This one gonna say this is proof. And mind you, this is March, and her birthday is sometime in March. So I'm just gonna like, what is it with y'all in the month of March? Where y'all just can't get it together. Even in 2022, this is March. Like, why I can't just find peace in March? What's going on? Do we need to have a deliverance for both of y'all in March? Like, what's going on in March? You know what I'm saying? You leave me hanging as a mother. You don't step up when I need you to. I'm begging you. I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to delete myself tonight. My son will not be around for it. I hate you forever. You can have him and let her be his mom. This is happening, I believe, 3 months after their son was born. Now, I don't have kids of myself. This right here is low-key giving to me postpartum. Because their child was born in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. This to me is very much giving postpartum, right? This to me is very much giving postpartum. And when you tie it to the messages from even, the 2022 that we just read, it just shows that a lot was going on in this relationship, and this was not a safe space to bring a child. This was not the right time to become a mother, and to become a mother with a man who always gave you uncertainty. Children do not make men better men. They just don't. They just don't. They don't. And in a video that I saw of this man, he was claiming you wouldn't even want the child. He wanted the child. Girl, you were always going to be the one to carry the child. You were always going to be the one that had to deal with the ramifications of carrying a child. It was always going to be you. So why let an unstable man talk you into that decision? This to me is giving postpartum. And I hate it all the more that regardless of what happened, this man was supposed to be a safe space for you. And releasing this is not safe. Releasing this shows that this man was never a safe space for you. He just wasn't. But sometimes the red flags are in our faces, and we just decide to find like a white t-shirt to go with it. Just like we just gonna accessorize the red flags. This is not me blaming. This is not me trying to shame. This is not me trying to shade at all. I want us women to, when we see these stories, to really use it as a cautionary tale. This to me is giving postpartum. And this is not showing to me that this DDG guy is a father that steps up for his child. It's giving to me, again, I'm going to weaponize this child, use this child for content, use this child as a way to stay attached to you. Because I ain't got really nothing much going on for me for myself as a person. I don't. Nobody really cares about me as a person. They care about my relationship to you, and they care about the child that we've now produced together. That's what keeps me in the media. That's what keeps my videos getting the numbers that it gets. That's just what it is. So for the people in the comments talking about, oh, he just always wanted to be a father. He just always, this is not giving like, DDG, you didn't eat with this. This, to me personally, it makes you look more horrible. Because in this moment, she's vulnerable. The last thing she should have been doing is going back and forth with you about stepping up as a father. Because if your claim gonna be that she's unsafe, for your son, then clearly you are even unsafer, because if you knew and you believed that she was unsafe, you would step up even more and be a father and show up and pick up the slacks. But according to these messages, that ain't what you've been doing. And I hate that the threats with Halle was always like, I'm gonna off myself. Like I said, that's not something, if a man did that to me, I'm not gonna take that lightly. I'm just being honest. I'm just not gonna. I understand given the circumstance, right? Postpartum, a lot of things were going on, right? And at that time, a movie just being released, it's a lot of things. Either being released or like her movie is being talked about, it just was a lot of things going on. So I get it. And so you will have a man drive you through the ledge and then demonize you for having what I can only display and imagine to be a very reasonable reaction given the circumstances. Postpartum depression is not easy. It's not a joke. It is not. As a woman, you're having to adjust. You're having to figure things out. You have a new body, and this child cries all the time. You're not getting enough sleep. Like at a certain point, you're even like delusional, right? Not delusional. It's the term like delirious. Like I don't know what the term I'm thinking of, but like you just can't think straight. And that's the time when you need your partner. This is why even having babies while you guys are babies, we have to be mindful of that. We have to be honest and talk about that. Really. You're so vulnerable. You need support. You need support from your partner. You need support from your family. You need support from your village. Like you need support. Because otherwise, this is what happens. And you will have this man use this to demonize you. And literally have it work, because half of the comments under this post, oh yeah, you know, you guys used to think she's a saint. You guys used to think she's a saint. Look at her. She's trying to manipulate him. No. This is giving postpartum. This is giving you did so much, you were tweaking, and I don't even know what to do at this point. And now I'm stuck with you because we have a child together. I love my child, but then I have to deal with this BS all the time. All the time. And this one gonna say, please take Halo. And he finally gonna respond. After all those messages she sent, he finally gonna respond. I'm genuinely scared of you, man. I feel like you're gonna delete me in my sleep one day. I'm not allowing you in my house around guns. Please just go home and I'll pick up Halo from there. And I'm just kind of like, if this is the response to everything that she just said, you do not step up when I need you as a father. You do not step up. You're not there. I feel alone in this. I don't know what to do. This is a lot. And you're going to respond talking about how like now you're scared because, you know, she going to off you in your sleep. I'm just kind of like, maybe other messages are missing. To me, it just feels like me and Halo are in the cold and you won't let us in your house. Are you serious? And I'm not sure if some more messages are missing here as well. But then you have Halle come back and say, you have ruined me and all of my happiness. You hang up when I'm begging for help. You're the only help I used to have. And you're so focusing on being famous and having money when you don't even see what is in front of you. How could you go to Mexico and be with someone else? How could you openly talk shit about me to all your family and all the women you want to sleep with? You want to, I think she meant to say, you want to ruin me. And this is all happening at like freaking midnight, for the love of Christ. This is a lot. So now I believe they're in August of 2024. Finally, a change in months, okay? Thank God. Stop talking like you're going to hurt yourself or Halo. I'm not sure what came before that. If you do know, let me know. And then she going to say, I would never hurt my child, ever. I am simply not tough enough for this world. Please take Halo so he doesn't have to see I'm not okay. My heart is broken. I can't pretend everything is okay. I've asked for help so many times. Too many times. I feel like I'm drowning. You've never cared about me. Not once in my life. You lied to me about loving me. You never did. I'm just too heartbroken. Please just leave me alone. I will be gone soon. And then you can be free. I'm exhausted. I can't keep up anymore. I won't. This is a lie. This is a lie. And to me, DDG, this did not paint you in the light that you thought it did. It really didn't. To me, at least, it didn't. Right? And Haley, this showed that y'all were not ready for this child. You were not. And there were a lot of red flags that may have been ignored along the way. Again, not penalizing you, not trying to criminalize you at all. I'm just using this story as a way to just be like, women, please. Some of these men are dangerous. Some of these men are dangerous. Personally, I don't take joy in seeing people in pain, for one. But it's some people that are just so talented and you just see them winning and you see them on the trajectory of winning. The last thing we want to see from you is this. A lot of these things could be avoided when men show you who they are, and when men show you that they're not capable of being faithful. They show that they're not capable of handling your heart with care. Believe them. And when they show that to you, even in terms of like their ex, believe them. I'm not sure about DDG's past, but believe these people. When they like, believe it. People don't change as much as y'all be thinking they do. People gonna do what they gonna do, and they gonna do what they gonna do every time. My heart goes out to her because, no. As a human being, you do not deserve any of this hullabaloo, period. All these alleged things that's happening, you don't deserve this. And it seems like this has taken your mental health already was not giving very like secure. It wasn't giving that, at least according to these messages. If these are true, it never really gave that. And the deeper you continue with this man, the deeper you went down. And then there's a child that you have to answer for. And then there's a child that you have to deal with. It's a lie. Jesus, the greatest babysitter to ever do it. Heaven, the greatest daycare. You not ready? Talk to Jesus. Figure out some things. Okay? I will always be an advocate for women having access to reproductive care, for women having access to make the choice that makes sense for them. With the new restrictions, it's a lot of women who cannot even be afforded that. One, be safe. Just like one, be safe. Know who's laying next to you for sure. Be safe, ladies. Children are for life. A child will tie you to a man in a way that you won't be able to just like detangle and untangle yourself from it. Like it's, no, these are commitments, you know? Alrighty, y'all, that's it on me. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. This one was a little heavy, which is why I feel like I've been avoiding making this video. And again, I hope you guys hear my heart. It's not coming from a place of like, you shoulda, coulda, like it's not that at all. It's just, I want us women to really, to pay attention. Men will ruin your life and then blame you for it. Men will push you on the edge and then demonize you for having a very human reaction. And so be careful. When a man shows you who he is with the way he treats other women, listen, believe him the first time. Believe her the first time. Because the man always gonna come at you and be like, oh, well, she was just crazy. Nah. What you did that made her crazy. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to these things. Your coochie not gonna change a man, And a child from you certainly not gonna change a man. That's it, that's all. Already, I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Bye,